There's a new Mandalorian movie on the way, and LEGO said, hey, I got you. But life is more than just Star Wars, believe it or not, and we are getting some other interesting things this month. I've had a chance to build a couple of these early, so let's go through what's worth keeping an eye on and just check them out. I'm trying so hard not to run into spoilers myself, which is harder than it sounds, but the Mandalorian movie is dropping before we know it. And of course, that means we get a new batch of LEGO sets to build alongside the new film. The standout set looks to be this Razor Crest smaller scale build. I built the large one a long time ago, which was stunning, so it's neat to see what they can do at the smaller size. The design looks pretty good and it has some interactive elements which I know a lot of you appreciate, and that said, for $150, it does look like you'll have to tackle a decent number of stickers for a set this size, so keep that in mind if that sort of thing bothers you. The cargo bay interior is also bare bones, which is an important part of the ship, so that's a bit disappointing. It does seem pricey for what you get, which seems to be the trend with Star Wars sets lately, but I'm sure once I see the movie, it's going to be hard to not be tempted to go and pick this up. That sort of thing just happens. And look out, we have another X-Wing on the way. Nothing too crazy going on here, but that's not a bad thing. I bought one of these when The Force Awakens came out, when George Lucas was still kind of relevant, and it completely rekindled my love for the hobby. So these will always have a soft spot for me. For what it is, this looks solid and does not have a bad sticker commitment like the Razor Crest does, and it's $70. It's honestly one of the more reasonable prices in this whole Mandalorian wave. If you're on the fence with any of these, this might be the safest pick of the bunch. X-Wings are usually pretty fun to build. The other two sets in this batch, which honestly aren't really for me, but might be a good gift for the younger Star Wars fans in your life, give us another ship and a little snowscape scene. The Anzellan Starship, I think that's what it's called, does have some nice features to it. I mean, check out the inside of this thing. It's amazing how much can be going on in such a small space. And we also have a small scene where our heroes are in this tiny AT-RT walker, which is enough to get someone hyped up for the new movie. We've got something for everyone in this Mandalorian batch, so we might as well throw a Grogu character build while we're at it. You know, these aren't for me personally, but my wife loves this stuff. Pretty sure we already have a Grogu around here somewhere. Not too much to expect with this one. His head and ears move, and he comes with a Grogu minifig, which is adorable. And if you like these types of sets, then it's another one to consider if you're hyped up for the movie. We've seen Marvel busts before, and it's making its way into the Star Wars franchise now, and who better to start it off with than Darth Vader himself? You know, I wasn't really a big fan of the Marvel ones that we had, but I do think that this Darth Vader one looks pretty good. Even though the design does look cool, when you see these in real life, they're pretty small in scale, so something to keep in mind. If you like the helmets, maybe give this a try for something different. It's not exactly the same, but the minifig that comes with these is always a welcome bonus. I wouldn't mind getting this one as a gift, given how iconic the character is to me, but I'm also not rushing to pick this up either. And of course, I'm going to be honest with you, I can't say the same about the Yoda one. His outfit looks okay, but I can't stand behind this design. His face and ears look a bit off, and the lightsaber does look a bit weird. I think he needed a bit more time cooking in the oven, or passed up overall. It's hard to do character builds at the scale, so this is kind of a tough one. Alright, if you're a Brickheads fan, you'll get a group of Mandalorian characters, and you pretty much know what to expect here, nothing to really call out. We also have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is one of my all-time favorite franchises. Brickheads isn't really my thing. These turtle ones are alright though, and I do appreciate how they're all different colors. That's actually kind of cool. If you're into LEGO aircraft builds, this Douglas Pan Am set is worth keeping an eye on. The design is excellent. It avoids that blocky look that these can have sometimes, and the overall shape is really well done. The top portions can be removed to show off the interiors, and the retractable landing gear is always a nice touch. And from what I can tell, I don't see any stickers on this, which does make the build rather quick. Oh, I will say that the minifigures do look pretty cool, and it's a nice little history piece. That said, I'm going to start saving this up to get for my dad at some point. I think he'll love it. Let's move on to a spacecraft, and we have one here that can take us to the moon. From the Tintin franchise, more specifically from the Destination Moon story, I did have a chance to build this and I didn't realize how large this ship would be. Like, this thing is freaking huge. The build itself wasn't anything spectacular. You'll run into a lot of repetition with the color scheme, the outer frame, and the checkerboard tiles on the sides. But at the same time, it also wasn't the easiest build either. I built it off camera, but there were a few times that I had to redo sections because I put pieces in the wrong spots, so you definitely need to pay attention. Assembling these fins were a highlight though. They were genuinely satisfying to put together after all the repetition. It does have a hidden room at the top of the ship, which was a welcome surprise after everything, and the minifigures are definitely the star of this thing. They are excellent and brought the variety the build needed. And I mean, come on, Snowy the dog comes with his own little spacesuit, which just melts your heart. That's pretty awesome. Comparing it to the original fan design, they did drop the launching deck entirely, which does make the set feel a bit incomplete. I don't know how much fun that would have been to assemble though, so maybe that's why they dropped it, but I would have liked to see this baby blue Jeep included for some additional variety. I think it would have made it just that much cooler. The price is a bit steep for what we have here, and it's a very niche set, but Tintin fans are gonna appreciate this, I would imagine. It's not really for anyone beyond that fan base though. At least I wouldn't think so. But I could also be totally wrong. Alrighty, last year we had a Mario Kart set featuring Mario himself, and this year his nearly as famous sidekick brother Luigi joins the bunch. He's most notably known for his death stare peering into your soul. Right off the bat, I'm glad they went with a different design from Mario's kart. This Mockgate design is a bit larger and has some awesome features that stand out. When you look at the side-by-side, it's quite accurate to the one from the game. So kudos on the design here. The build itself was interesting once you got the foundation down. Attaching the larger pieces of this kart model with the Luigi logos, the front turbine, the big windshield, and huge tires was very satisfying. Mechanically, it has a few gears to rotate the fire coming out of the back when you roll it around, so that small section was interesting to put together, but nothing mind-blowing either. I would say that I enjoyed it just about as much as the Mario one last year, but for different reasons. This has more of a larger scale going for it, which is cool. Now, if you've never tackled a character build with Lego, they can be rewarding when you're done. You do have to pay attention while you're building this section though. It's easy to put pieces in the wrong spots, and it's also very fragile, just like the Mario character build was last year. That thing straight up attacked my finger, and to this day I still can't find those pieces that went flying. I will say that Luigi himself looks pretty good. His hat does look a little bit awkward at the top. Mario's was more spot on, but they did nail the design of his facial features, and he'll definitely look recognizable next to his brother on the shelf. Okay, if you want to see the full Luigi Mario Kart build from start to finish, I am still working on that one, so if you're from the future, it'll be over here on the left. In the meantime, I'll have YouTube recommend some stuff for you. As always, thanks for checking out the sets with me, and until next time, I'll catch you in the next one.